Okay, good morning. I am at DIY22's open space today. Its first journey into the dirt. Trails are a little bit damp. We obviously had some rain in the past week, and you can actually hear a problem that I'm already having right now. When I designed the wheel, I probably didn't tolerance enough space into where the inner fender is, so it's actually rubbing against the tire a little bit with each rotation of the tire. I'm gonna need to fix that when I get back home, but I think I'll be okay to at least give the wheel its first little bit of first taste of the dirt, if you will. As far as initial impressions, how do I feel about this thing? It is, because of how much I've toleranced the wheel, it is a little bit compromised in the size department. It's wide at the top, and it's kind of annoying because it's kind of rubs the insides of your legs, which is not ideal. Oh, you can really hear my mudguard rubbing now. That's really annoying. I'm also down on power by a significant amount because I'm running a V1 Master and driving the V3 Master Pro board, but it's the motherboard that I have right now, so it's what I'm going to use. Other characteristics, how does it feel? Suspension's really nice. It's a Librachem Lynx suspension. It's a 77-pound shocks, and they are, I haven't tuned them at all, so the compression and rebound is not set, but it's pretty nice. Immediately off the bat, does the 22-inch rim make a huge difference in terms of how it feels compared to a 20? It is a noticeable difference. It's probably really windy, so I'm gonna wait to talk at the next section. Okay, where was I? I was talking about what was I talking about? I already forgot. How does the 22 compare to the 20-inch rim? I would probably put it similar in terms of characteristic as going from a 16 to a 20. It is definitely a lot less bothered by like ruts and rocks on terrain, at least so far. I am also definitely noticing that it's a little less peppy, if you will. It doesn't want to accelerate as kindly as a smaller diameter tire. It's obviously a lot more, ooh, I got a little bit of a dip right there. This motherboard is definitely down on power. Yeah, V1 Master board, 24 MOSFETs, probably not enough power to really drive the V3 Pro board that's in here. But yeah, in terms of ride characteristics, this is actually really nice. I really like how it isn't bothered by the terrain nearly as much as the 20-inch tire. But it's definitely, you're making a lot of concessions in terms of like how much torque that you can put down to the ground, just because it's larger diameter rim is harder to spin up. It's also, the rim is a lot heavier, so I'm a little bit being cautious how much I'm asking of the wheel as I'm pushing up here. I'm also pretty sure that the cooling on this V1 board is not sufficient, because if you guys remember the V1 master board, it's this very it's not like flat bottom the way that the modern boards are. They had these metal kind of like bars at the bottom that sat underneath where the MOSFET channels are, and that's what was in contact with the thermal pad, and that is what provided all your cooling. So this thing is probably being pushed quite hard driving this motor, and it's probably not being cooled as well as it wants to be. Well, that's just something that we're going to have to live with. It's a cool little climb here, and we rose about 3 degrees Celsius. It is not a very hot day, so obviously it warming up this much is probably not the best indication. Yeah, I definitely need to fix the clearance on the inner fender because it's rubbing the tire. Good morning. They didn't even say hi back. Other things, I need to fix my pedal angle, if you will, because these pedals feel really flat. Like, I mean angle as in the, what is it? What is the, how much it's tilted roll-wise, not front to back. Yeah, I didn't adjust that at all, so these things feel really flat right now. It's a little weird. Other things, I am noticing some really weird kind of like dipping behavior with the pedals. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that this motherboard is expecting a 20-inch rim and I'm on a 22. So it kind of like pitches forward and pitches back. Being a V1 motherboard, it's also got that really weird sort of tilting in the turns, because this doesn't have the firmware with the pedal angle correction. Oh, but she feels really good coming down these. Oh yeah. Link shocks, man. Fast ace. That's where it's at. Now I really need to figure out what I'm going to do with that inner fender thing, though, because right now this is definitely a no-go. I might actually completely wear through it by the time I get to the bottom of the hill. Yeah, those bonks feel really good. It's not nearly as harsh as it usually is on a 20-inch, and definitely going through some of these ruts and transitions, it's not. Good morning. It's a corgi. I have a corgi too.
You do? Now there's a challenge for you.
Okay, that little bit of street there, that was kind of interesting. The V3 Master Pro motor that's in here has so much rotating mass that despite being a knobby tire, it feels like there's a little bit of gyro effect over there. So that's different. I've never had gyro effect on a knobby tire before, or at least not to this degree. We're getting to the switchback portion of this trail. Let's see how this goes. See if I can even make it into the entrance without, oh my god. Yeah, this thing is down on power and it is not very happy. I have a feeling that this motherboard's not going to be up to the task for a more demanding trail. Who knows, maybe even the newer motherboard might not be capable of doing it, but the main reason why I'm so skeptical of this current board is that it's just a V1 board, and I know the V1 board is a lot weaker than the stuff that came out later, so I'm hoping I'll be able to pull a little bit more strength out of the later boards. Definitely a lot more work to get this wheel to do what you want it to do, because there's more mass. The tire is, I mean, part of the trade-off for having a wheel that's not as bothered by terrain also means that when you want it to move, you need to put in more effort. Now, that's something that I went into this knowing full well was going to be the case, so that doesn't bother me. And there is the tire rubbing the inner fender again. It's definitely going to be something I need to fix. Probably add another 5 millimeters of clearance, that'll probably be enough. What temperature am I at? Actually dropped down to 40. Actually pretty normal for the V1 Master board. Oh yeah, that feels so good. That being said, this guy did come in a little bit heavy. It is about 100 pounds, this wheel. And a lot of that, well, 75 pounds is weight that I cannot remove, meaning that is weight from the motor, the batteries, the suspension, and like the pedals and stuff. Things that you basically would never have a wheel without actually having them. So yeah, 75 pounds, which means that the chassis that I built, the shell, is clocking in at about 25 pounds, which isn't light by any means, but it's not too shabby, I would say. Definitely some places that, now that I have built this guy, I know that there's definitely some areas that I could trim some weight out of. I think for the next wheel that I build, and yes, I am planning on building another one. It'll be take the lessons learned from this wheel and implement some changes to improve on it. Hopefully I'll be able to improve a lot on the ergonomics. And then, yeah, I'll go from there, but, ooh. Come on, buddy, you can make it up this. No problem. But yeah, the main things that I want to change right now, and I know that it's like, I just finished building this and there's already things that I want to change, but that's how it always is, right? It's those ergonomics, because this thing feels very wide at the top, and that's just, I mean, while you can live with that, and I'm pretty sure that I'll be riding this wheel for a while in its current shape, that doesn't mean that we don't want to change things, right? We don't want to improve. So I'm just going to add that to the list of things that I would like to improve, and then we'll go from there. Oh man. Yeah, this guy's not an uphill wheel, definitely. I mean, it makes it up the rocks and stuff, but it does not have that instantaneous torque that a smaller diameter tire has. So as soon as you lose your momentum, it starts to feel a little sluggish. Pretty much the polar opposite of what a 16-inch, the smaller diameter like the Extreme or the Patent, exactly the opposite characteristic that's on this thing. I am being cautious coming around these corners because I'm not used to the way that this rim and motor, how much effort it takes. Oh, good morning. No problem. You're good. Oh no. Almost didn't get my foot back on the pedal. what is that sound, man? Puddle of water, let's not go through that. Ah! Got hit by a beetle. Oh my god. Yeah, definitely not the happiest wheel going up steep inclines. This is a downhill wheel. Oh man, it feels so good going down those. Combination of the rim and the fast ace shocks. Really, really nice. And if you can leverage the momentum to get up the hills, it's actually quite nice. Got up that pretty easily too. Oh man, the brakes are a little bit on the lazy side because of weight, but also because of available power. Ooh, I took the shittiest line and had no problem. I went right over the chunkiest portion right there. That was nice. All right. Morning. Ooh. I gotta say, my legs are getting a little tired though. This thing is definitely not a delicate little dancer. Morning. Oof. Didn't make the turn. Whew. Whoops. Oh. All right. I don't think I'm going to do the rest of the trail because the rest of the trail is just fire road. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this thing rides. It's definitely down on power, like I was saying. Other than that, yeah, I need to fix the what do you call it? Inner fender rubbing. That shouldn't be too difficult to change. Yeah, I'll probably just reprint the cross brace and then just stick a screwdriver and do that. Shouldn't be too hard to do. And yeah, we'll be able to go from there. I'm gonna call that a win for this first. Oh man, still not used to stepping up on this wheel. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you how much clearance this wheel has. It is between 13 and 14 inches off the ground for the pedals. For reference, the Master is about between 9 and 10, and the EX30 is between 9 and 10. So this is like 25%, 20% more clearance for the pedals. And that is a very comforting thing to have. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cruise it back to my car, and we'll call it there.